Hi guys, welcome, and I finally chose the name, by the way. It's going to be called MG Creativity Talks.
Wow.
I finally did that.
Nice name.
So welcome on the first episode with Marcus and Paula. Do you guys want to have an intro?
Yeah.
Paula?
Okay. So, hi guys, my name is Paula Cordero. I'm from Spain, but I live in London now. I'm a flight attendant and also a model. And I'm here to see what is the day going about.
I like that.
Surprise.
Surprise!
Okay.
Marcus Flemmings. Am I talking to you or am I talking to the camera?
Up to you, whatever you prefer.
I'll talk to you. Marcus Flemmings. I am the owner of BAME Agency, of which you two are part of as well.
Yes.
Been going since 2016, and we represent a diverse range of models.
And that's why I love that.
Yeah.
For who doesn't know, Marcus is my agent and Paula's agent too. We are from BAME Models. And I've also been on the podcast of Marcus, so check it out, Sensational Podcast. We talked about a lot of my stuff, specifically for modeling, how you see yourself as a business. And Paula, I met her because she attended one of my masterclass a year ago for modeling. And since then, we kept in contact, and now she joined my agency. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is that because this podcast is called MG Creativity Talks, I decided that for every episode there's gonna be something creative. So for this episode, we're gonna have something really cool. And I apologize for that for the audio, by the way, but you're gonna see.
Hey.
With cereals, and I brought you 3 different packs, which
Nice.
you can pick whatever you want, guys.
Wow.
Okay, so normally I'm the type that goes first milk and then cereals because I normally heat up the milk. But in this case, I'm gonna make an exception. So I'm gonna be like the American classic style, first cereals and then milk. So what do you guys want? Oreo?
Oreo. We're doing Oreo. Thank you so
Go
much.
for it.
I never put the cereal
You want
first.
Oreo too?
I'm having an internal
Have the
fight
milk.
right now.
Have
Put
yeah.
the milk first.
Yeah. Do you put the cereal
You
first?
put the cereal.
I normally put milk, but just because I
No.
heat it up.
No.
Well, I heat up as well, but you have to put the cereal
No, if you heat
first.
it up, no, you put the milk first.
Why?
Thanks.
So what do? You put the cereals,
the
then the
cereal,
milk,
you
and then
put
you
the
put it in the
milk on top.
microwave? Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's disgusting. What do you eat? You literally eat porridge.
No.
It's not serious.
No.
They lose all the crunchness.
No. I like
don't?
that.
Really?
I like that.
No,
yeah.
I never do that.
Put the amount
I
that you
heat
want.
up the milk in the microwave and then I just put the cereals. I let it I do this twice and then I eat it.
So you let them drown.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
let them like...
Yeah, you know,
soggy.
yeah, but a little bit, not too much.
Okay.
Otherwise
You
it
put a
loses-
little bit, and then
Yeah.
it's like crunchy, and then they get soggy, so you get both.
Starting from Paula, can you give me what you eat? Can you give me your background as a model? How did you start?
With my mouth, like...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Go for it. Enjoy. This is gonna be so fun. I never done this.
Come on, talk.
Can I start now?
Come on.
Okay. So basically, I moved to London just to learn English. So I didn't come here for modeling. I came just to learn English. So I started working like in restaurant, coffee shops, and things like that. So I could learn. I learned. And then while I was here, I felt like very lost. Like I didn't know what to do with my life at all because I was here. I wasn't working as a flight attendant. So I'm like, what am I doing here without my family, without anybody? Like I was here alone. And then I always wanted to try modeling.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, I'm in London. Like, it's the best place to try
Okay.
because I come from like a small town in Seville, in
Love
Spain. So I never had the opportunity there to like try anything. So I forgot about it. And when I came here, I started thinking, okay, I think I should try. But then I didn't know how to start. Like I didn't know anyone. So I was very lost. And then I started, like reaching out to people. Nobody replied to me. Like photographer, nobody replied. I mean,
Modeling industry.
yeah, I don't know what to
I'm gonna
do.
put the rainbow.
Yeah, like I don't know what to do. Like I don't know how to how to do the first step. And then I don't know how I came across with your profile. I don't know if it was Instagram or TikTok. Very random. I'm like, who is she? Who is she? Is giving like advice, like modeling advice. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow her. And then I saw the masterclass.
That's
And
really
then
cute.
I did the masterclass, and I'm like, okay, I have like a start point now. You know, like you show me like, okay, you can start from here, like from the start, like zero. So you can start doing this. You can look for photographers and people in these places. I did that. It works. At the beginning,
That makes me so happy and proud. Okay.
at the beginning was a bit. strange
Of course.
because you're new. You get to do photo shoot with strange people. But that's fine.
But
You
it's the
get
best
through
way to
that.
build
What
confidence.
do you mean by strange people?
I did a photo shoot with a photographer, and she never gave me the photos back.
Ah, that's typical.
And then
That's
when she
difficult.
gave me, after like 5-6 months, the photos back, I'm like, okay,
Not good.
no, thank you. I'm okay. I prefer to, like not add that to my portfolio. Things like that. Or like weird photographer that you don't have any reference. So you just go there by yourself and you're like, okay, here I am with this strange person.
Random
Yeah.
person, yeah.
I always try to go with someone, like makeup artist, stylist, because I never want to go alone with someone that I don't know. Like,
And how tall are you?
5'5".
Yeah.
I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in 1992. You don't
Yeah,
have to
so-
be 5'10" anymore. Yeah,
Thankfully.
That's very good.
thankfully.
So anyway, so I started like doing photo shoot and everything, applying to agencies. I applied so many times, so many times. Like I cannot even tell you how many times, especially online. But then I realized that also in the masterclass you say walk to the agencies.
Because sometimes I believe your personality can make you get a contract much more than just the look.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when and it's funny because I just heard this metaphor like a few days ago, and I found it so like on point. When you go to a shoot, and that's also, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, from a business perspective, from the agency that's hiring you, they want you to work with a client again. So it's not just one thing only, and that's it. And they need to make sure also that you know their reputation is online, your reputation is online, your image needs to look good, and it's like a first date. So you laugh at their jokes, you make sure that everything goes well. Oh, really? Is that what you do? And you basically pose. It's true though, isn't
Is
it?
that what happened on first
build
dates?
the
They laugh at your
relationship.
jokes.
Yeah, of course, because
Oh.
they like impress the guy, you know,
Oh God, that's
or vice versa.
where I've been going wrong. I'm not laughing at my jokes.
You
My
see?
God. Anyway, sorry, go on.
I think it makes more sense. Like try online. If it doesn't work, pop in. What do you have to lose? Worst case scenario, you leave a good impression.
Yeah, that's true. You will waste time if you keep applying online and you have the agency like in the same city and you don't walk in.
Yeah.
Like just walking, like much better. So I walk in to BAME.
You sure did.
They said yes. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my journey so far.
Okay.
So, do you want to tell us?
Sure.
So she can also eat her cereal.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to eat my cereal before I start talking? Or?
No, up to you. You can.
Okay.
Meantime, whatever you prefer.
So you want to tell me you want me to tell you
Background.
my background?
Yes. How did you start? Because
So-
you have a lot of experience. I saw that you also released a movie. Congrats on that.
Thank you. So I started off I wanted to be a filmmaker,
Okay.
and it's a very hard industry to get into. So I got into finance instead. Did that for 6 years.
I didn't know.
Yeah. And then I bought a house in East London, sold the house, and I thought to myself, I don't want to be in finance anymore. So I'm going to start a company.
Love
So I
that.
started a company. I thought it was going to be super easy, and it was not
Of
easy
course it's
at all. It was so hard. The first company I had was like a casting company for actors. So they
Okay.
would sign up online. They would apply to jobs online.
You submit them.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the problem was you need to have the jobs.
Of course.
And the problem is you need people to sign up. And I had to work out how am I going to get these two things to happen at once. And I didn't do any pre-planning or anything. I just set up a website.
I see.
Everyone's going to join. It's going to be fine. No one joined. And then when people started to join, it was loads of people joining, models, actors. It's brilliant. No jobs. So
Like, I remember. But isn't that easier though? Because then you could pitch brands and be like, hey, like casting directors, I believe.
it wasn't. Because because what you have to do, you have to talk to casting directors.
Yeah.
They have all the jobs. So the companies won't post the jobs on the website. The casting directors do.
I see.
Unless you've got a pre-established relationship with them,
Exactly. That's
they're not going to post the jobs. So you
Fair.
need to make sure you cultivate the right type of
relationship.
people.
Yeah.
And the right type of people joining up on your website. Because if you have any other random person
Of
joining
course.
up with a random headshot,
And you never
your
know.
website looks terrible. And then no one wants to. So I had a
course.
real struggle with that for about 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years. But in the first year of doing the business, I thought of this idea to start a South Asian modeling agency. I saw there was a bit of a gap. So I started a South Asian modeling agency, did that for 5 to 6 years. And then I started BAME. And today we have BAME. So, and the reason why I started BAME was I hate that term. Like that term is I felt it put people in boxes.
I agree.
So I used the term against itself and made sure that everyone yeah, is it good? What did you have? Cheerio.
No, the colorful one.
Lucky Charms, nice. So I made sure that everyone who joined was of any race, any height, any age,
Diversity.
and completely inclusive.
Love that.
And because we started in 2016, the industry still wasn't quite at that point. Nowadays, it's pretty much in a good place, but there's still some work to be done. Like, I still think height is a problem.
This is something I really wanted to ask you. What's your opinion on that?
On height.
Why do you think it's still a problem? Yeah.
I think the idea of like these supermodels from the 90s and the early 2000s are still in people's heads.
Yeah.
I think people still revere these people. And I think the idea of a model, if you ask any random person on the street what you think a model is, they'll go, they need to be 5'10", they need to be blonde, they need to be size 2. Like that perception is still there in society. Yeah. So when they see people in commercials, they're like, oh, they're just actors. They don't realize they're actually models as well. So, and I think the idea, the clear distinction between actor and model isn't quite defined yet. So people still think, if you're in a commercial, you're an actor, which is true. I guess you are, but you're also a model sometimes, like a model actor. So I think that the perception in society needs to change before the industry. But also in the industry, you have high fashion brands who won't change. They will not change. Yeah. They will never change.
Okay, what was your experience
with this?
In terms of height? Yeah.
So I had a few agencies. One reached out to me on Instagram. 2, I applied online. And the question was, how tall are you?
Straight away.
Yeah. And I'm like, 5'5".
You didn't lie, no?
No.
5'6" or 5'7".
5'5". And they were like, okay, thank you very much for applying. And I'm like, okay, good. Next one. And that's it. So basically it's not, they don't give you even the opportunity to go there and talk to them.
So do you still think there is this like barrier of the height?
Yeah. And actually one agency, I think I told you about this one. They sent me the contract and everything. And I got on a call with them. And I was expecting them to ask me questions about myself. Like, like what you do, something. And they were like, I'm going to send you I'm sending you the contract, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but before this, like, I asked him, you don't want me to tell you something about myself? And he say, no, it's fine. We like your look, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I say, I don't feel very comfortable with this because, like, you're not even asking me anything. You don't even know my age. And he was like, well, with your height, what did he say? Like, darling. He say, darling, with your height, you're not going to get signed with any other agency if you don't sign with us.
Bye. Wow. Red flag.
I'm like...
They said that to you on the phone?
Yeah, on the phone.
Yeah, I know.
And I say, like, wait a minute, what? And he say, yeah, we love your look. We want to send you to, like, I don't know where he want me to go. I don't know. Anyway, so I say, like, okay, I'll think about it. I hung up. And I was like...
That's it.
I was crying. I was like, what just happened? And of course, I knew there was a red flag. So I'm like, I'm not going to sign this.
I prepared her,
Yeah, but...
I was like, be careful out there.
Yeah, but they use that as an excuse as well to scam people.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So it's frustrating.
For me, I personally believe there are 2 things. On this specific matter, I believe, like, if it's like a really big agency, it happens that they're like, we really like you, just get on board, because they're so used to see so many people and they know what they want and they don't want. However, I noticed even whenever I spoke with like different agencies, there's always that curiosity of like, so what do you do? Or like, what's your favorite color? What do you do outside of modeling? Okay. Even if it's just one question, there's always the interest of like, why are you applying with us?
Yeah,
so
I think you said it perfectly when you said, if you walk into an agency, they can see your personality.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's more important. And I feel, our agency, I can only speak for our agency, and I feel like unless I've spoken to the person, I will not sign them. Doesn't matter how incredible they look until we've spoken to the person, because you're actually essentially me or the agency. You know what I mean? They don't see me. They see my emails. They maybe speak to me on the phone. But when you arrive at the booking, if you are late, if you're rude, if you're chewing gum when they're shooting, if you're going to the toilet every 2 minutes, if you're being,
with your phone,
if you're on your phone, if you can't even look them in the eye to say,
you represent the agency.
You represent the agency, exactly. So I would rather.
What qualities do you look in a model when they come in?
First thing I look for is personality.
Personality.
First thing I look for. Like, you can be the most stunning model, most handsome model, most wonderful model.
And what's the thing that stands out?
I feel like I need to know that if I'm talking to the person, they're
Okay.
present. There's been times when you're talking to someone and they're just zoned out. Or,
That inside.
yeah, they're dead, or they're dead inside, or they're on the phone, or like
They're just there.
they're just there, and they're thinking, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the contract. I'm fine."
Did it ever happen to you that you had someone walk in, they were very good looking, they were this like pretentious, like I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
I swear, whenever I met these models on set, I'm like, girl, just let's not. I was like,
Yeah.
let's
I'm
not.
sorry.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's actually crazy.
They
What
come in.
happened?
Yeah, they come in and like basically they're saying, "Where's my contract?" That's basically like they're not talking to you. They have no engagement
It's
with you.
insane.
It's almost like, "Where's my contract? Let's do my Polaroids. I'm giving my contract, and I want to go home." And it's literally like that's the interaction, and you can feel it as well. They may even be talking to you, but then be like, you can tell inside that they're thinking, "Where's my contract?"
Yeah, getting impatient.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
Okay. So you said that one of the things you look for in a model is first personality. And in your opinion, what makes a model truly unique and memorable?
Ooh.
Is there anybody that stood out to you?
Anybody?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everyone stood out to me.
No, but like seriously, there must be like someone. You don't have to make obviously any names or anything of the kind. Just what makes a model memorable when walking into the agency.
First thing I look for is smile.
Okay.
Smile. That's actually why I was like, oh, great smile. Like, even when your pictures, like the smile kind of just
It's
shines.
funny you say that
Like,
because can I say this? So when you asked her to send you the Polaroids,
Yeah.
she sent me this bunch of pictures. I was like, pick this one.
The smiley one.
Yeah.
Smiley
See,
one.
I got it signed.
It's all her. It's all
You
her.
see?
It's all
See?
her.
I like that you said
She's
that.
doing the magic.
I try over here, but keep
Yeah, definitely smile. Even if you've got a terrible smile,
going. Okay.
it's that warmth that comes from the smile that I really look for, because that's what's going to get you the jobs. Honestly.
That's you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to be working together.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that the atmosphere is consistently
warm.
friendly, and I want to make sure the person has bravery. Does that make sense? Bravery, because sometimes I'm going to be super harsh with them. Some people don't
course.
like it. Some people probably hate me because I'm so harsh, but it's beneficial to you. I'm not doing it because I get a kick. I'm doing it because I know
You
the
have
industry's
potential.
tough.
Yeah, 100%.
The industry's super tough, and if I shape you in the right way, you're going to be fine. And if I
fully
don't,
agree.
you're maybe going to not be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you're not going to be successful, but you're maybe not going to be fine.
100%.
So-
That's something I always say to whoever like asks me, do you have any advice or whatever? The first thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like if you don't have self-love, don't get in the industry.
Yeah,
You're not going to
absolutely.
make it.
Absolutely.
Like you're not going to make it.
You need it. You need it.
Whether this is your agent or being rejected,
Mm-hmm.
the agency, the brand. Like how many times did I get close to a self-tape? People were like, sure, listen, and then that's it. You're
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But if I start having doubts on myself, that's it.
You're over, because honestly speaking, you're going to be rejected more times
100%.
than you're going to get jobs.
It's so true.
It's a fact. For every job you get, you're going to get rejected 9 times.
It's so true.
End of story.
It's so true.
It doesn't matter how stunning you are, again, beautiful,
Yeah, no.
whatever. If
Doesn't
you're going to get
matter.
rejected 9 times, not everyone's going to love you.
Yeah.
And they may want a blonde girl.
Oh, yeah.
You may have the most perfect smile, most perfect eyes, but they may want someone who's blonde, and you got brown hair, so you don't get the job. Simple as that.
That's true.
You may go to the casting and trip over, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's that girl who tripped over."
And that's
So you're not going to get that job.
I lost a job for this in Mexico.
Oh no! What? You tripped over.
There was this like jeans brand, and apparently it was even popular in Mexico as well. But they have castings, all of them in person all the time, unless it's like crazy big commercials, and then you have to do the self-tape. But they're really particular on that too. So
Okay.
if they ask you, for example, pretend to be in a supermarket, people don't go in the supermarket to record. That's how crazy they are.
Really?
But I remember there was this like
really
jeans
cool.
casting, crazy big, and they have like 50 models there. It's like literally runway kind of casting. And I was really chill, really relaxed, and everybody was talking. So I was like, all good. And obviously you have to pose and photograph in front of everybody. So then when it was my turn, everybody goes silence and everybody started staring at me. I was like, why is this happening? I got this anxiety
Why to
inside
me?
because with everybody else, everybody was really really cool. Like nobody really cared. The moment I got in, I was like, everybody shut down. Everybody started staring. Those like stares of like, I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on? Yeah, and I tripped. I laughed it out. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I don't even care.
No.
But the agent didn't say anything because there was an agent present there, and then I asked him later on because they had the casting in the same building of the agency, and I was like, didn't say anything. When he just, and he was like, no, you were
Did you get
good.
the job?
No, I didn't.
Ah,
I didn't. So
because you tripped.
probably.
Oh no.
Yeah, because he was laughing it out when he told me that. So I was like,
Oh no.
it is what it is, you know.
I try.
Sometimes it is what it is.
So how was it modeling in Mexico?
I love Mexico. I love people. I love the food. I love everything. The only problem is that the jobs are not paid as much. That's the thing. But they might have they even have good brands. Like there was my friend, she just modeled for the Zigual.
Nice.
So really good. And commercial wise, they're fine. But we get the same amount for a one-day shoe, kind of maybe not e-commerce, but depends on e-commerce. But 2 days e-commerce, you make that. Whether there is that is a big commercial. Unless, I don't know, it's like big brands like Nivea or Nike, and then maybe it increases a bit. But again, we will never get to London prices. That's the only thing. So I think it's really, really good for models that are starting out, building a portfolio, getting out there, trying how it is. That's amazing. And also there, and everybody told me this, agents, everybody, you need to get known. Okay. So first thing that they do, and that's why they want you to stay at least 4 to 5 months, because the first few months they will send you around between photographers, and then after that you can get work. I don't really understand why, because in London at the end of the day it's not like that. Yes, you can network and it's better, happy days, but you don't need to. There you need to. I don't know why they have to know you first.
Maybe it's like a small market, that's why they do that.
Probably, yeah. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I feel like in London though, I think you're right, you can be a new model and get a job straight.
Yeah, literally.
You can do that. But I always say to the models, and it's a bit of a line that people are probably bored of now, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Of course.
You know, you're not, how old are you? If you don't mind
24.
me. 24, 22?
Yeah.
So young. We have models on our books who are 60, 70.
And I will never say that they look that old, to be honest. You know, many times I met models that were 35, 40. And
they look so young, right?
They look younger than me. I was what's the secret? What do you do?
Yeah, if you put that in perspective, you've got 50 years to model. So why do you need to rush to the finish line now?
100%.
Take your time, indulge, and really kind of get a flavour of what you enjoy the process. Because there's no ending. There's no it's not like you're going to win an Oscar. This is a modelling industry.
Literally.
You're just working.
You just need to get the job.
Just need to get the job. Yeah. So it's the most important thing is getting the job. So just think about each job as it comes. Don't think to yourself, I need to do this. I need to do that brand. I need to do this brand. Sure, have dreams, but just don't measure your success by what brand you get. Measure it by how you grow as a person, which sounds really corny, but
no, it's
honestly,
true. I could not agree more. Honestly, I could not agree more. When I started out, I remember I wasn't really impatient, a lot. And if I look at it into perspective now, I'm in 4 years that I'm here, 3.5 that I started modeling again, I'm it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Without even me actually putting my hands on it. So I'm and the best moments I remember is the ones that I actually took it slow and I enjoyed the process.
Appreciate the moment.
Literally.
I think for model it's very stressful to think I have to do everything now.
Yeah.
I have to do everything in this year or in 5 years time, and then you get that stress, and then you don't get to enjoy the jobs or 100%. The time that you get with friends or family or because you're thinking about that.
And I think also, correct me if I'm wrong, is seeing other models that are more successful than you. Maybe you see the model. For me, for example, there was this girl that I met on a shoot once, and she was shorter than me. I mean, she was pretty, but to be honest, I felt myself I was pretty. I'm not gonna lie. And on set, she was really quiet, minding her business, didn't talk to anybody. And, we started following each other. She got booked for the next 3 months, almost every day.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, how is that even possible? It's this is crazy. I was like, and when you get to see that, you're like, why is that not happening to me? Is it, am I doing something wrong? And that's when the self-doubt comes. So that's why I'm like, you need to be confident and self-love. You need to love yourself. Obviously, it's always good to take a step back and say, okay, is there anything I can improve?
Yeah.
What can I do better? That's why hence talk to your agent. I think there's nothing better than you that will know it. But yeah, I think that really affects how you see your career.
I think, I think everyone's guilty of this, not just models, but I think it's more prevalent in the modeling industry, is comparing yourself to other people.
100%.
Because actually your job is being compared to other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are looking at pictures of each model and they're like, oh, that person looks good, that person. So you will naturally compare yourself.
Yeah.
But most people attach themselves to one model and they go, this model's doing really well. I'm not doing as well as this model. So why am I doing, I'm looking exactly the same as the model. Why?
100%.
And you shouldn't do that. You should just separate, especially social media. Separate yourself from that because a lot of models are lying and they're actually not booked every day, and they're posting that they're at a job.
It's so
Or
cool.
going
It's
to
so
a
crazy.
casting,
It's
or
actually
I'm
crazy.
going-
I
I
agree.
mean,
It's
it's not
madness.
a competition.
It's
At
not
the
a
end of the-
competition
I mean,
at all.
not with others, like with yourself, if you want to get better and all these things, but it's not a competition with others. Like
No,
you
not
shouldn't
at all.
compare yourself because it's not a competition.
It's not a competition at all.
It's like an individual journey, like with your agency or whatever, but it's you.
It's you.
It's you.
It's you.
It's like,
Yeah, and I think it's also important to say that you never know what's around the corner. Like you might wait 6 months and you don't get one single job, but then the moment you get that job, it equivalents to all the 6 months that you waited.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I remember when I started out, the first 2 months I had, February was Fashion Week, obviously. I wasn't represented. I'm 5'5". So all my friends were like, don't even hope about it. Just forget it completely. There's no way you're going to do Runway. And I remember I did this promotional job. Guys, don't ever do promotional modeling. Tried it once for 1 day, never again. They were paying like £100 for a day. And technically, promotional model is standing in front of the shop and give out goodie bags or wearing the brand's clothes. So it's like, okay, happy days for everybody, nothing crazy. But what happened? Basically, I go there. They say that I don't work the whole day. And they put me in sales. They don't even put me as a promotional model because I was shorter. And there were 2 friends of mine that were also models. One of them literally ran out in the bathroom and stayed there for 5 hours. I'm not being sarcastic.
oh my God.
We were all questioning where she went. I'm not joking. The other one knew the boss, so she was recommended. And I actually did the whole work. I had like all my sales and whatever. And I still said yes because I thought, it's going to give me experience in marketing because I was in my first year of uni. And at the end of the day, the boss comes to me and she's like, oh, you didn't work the whole day. I was like, what do you mean I didn't work? And there's nothing that I'm crazy professional. Like work for me is work. I don't mess around. So I really care about it. And I was like, no, I actually worked. What are you talking about? Please, like, you can see the orders. Like I literally wrote them down. And she was like, well, I got told that you didn't work. So just know that tomorrow it needs to change because it was like a 3-day event. I was like, okay. Then she comes back after 20 minutes. And she's like, you know what? Don't show up tomorrow. I'm like, you know what? Okay.
To the heart.
So I just said it all to her. I was like, you know what? I was really close to like lose it falling. And I was like, actually, I accepted this job when it wasn't even promotional modeling. I could sue you for that because we signed a contract. I was like, don't try me just because I'm 18. And I was like, second of all, this is not what promotional modeling is supposed to be. You're supposed to thank me right now. And she was like, honey, what do you think we put you back there? Because you're not tall enough. You will never be a model. Just stop dreaming about it.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
Wow.
Just wait and see.
Yeah.
So I went
wait and
home,
see.
wrote a whole post on Facebook because there is like a models group. And everybody texts in the group, oh, that happened to me too. She did that to me as well.
Same girl.
Same girl.
Nice.
And literally a week later, a brand find me on Facebook. I didn't even have a portfolio on Facebook. I just had a profile picture. And they're like, do you want to do Runway for me? I did Runway.
There you go.
I was like,
go.
when it's meant to be. So
It's karma.
it's karma.
karma.
And I sent her the pictures. I was like, see, bitch, now what? So, yeah.
Modeling now.
Who's modeling now? But moral of the story is, you never know what's
You
around
never
the
know.
corner. Okay, for the both of you, how do you think modeling is going to evolve in the future?
Oh.
I have an opinion, but I'll tell you after
Okay.
yours.
So there's a Spanish model. Have you seen this? She's AI.
Okay.
She's famous. I forgot her name. Something Sanchez. But she's
Maybe I
AI.
heard of this then.
You heard about this?
I think I heard this,
But, like,
yes.
Purple hair and orange hair, and she's making like £10,000 every week or something like that.
That's great.
So I think the industry is slowly going towards AI, which is shocking, but it's inevitable because with an AI model, there's no talking back.
Yeah.
You can work them 24 hours a day.
It's really true. What do
There's
you
no
think?
commission.
So how I see the whole thing probably is, like leading to that. That would be a shame because, like we are in the industry. But I don't know, I hope it doesn't happen, but it looked like it will go
Personally,
in that direction.
I believe that it's going to go with usage, image usage rights. I believe that we all have like a profile and they're going to replicate eventually your AI. And then that is going to go to work.
Interesting.
And there is an agency in LA that actually has a portfolio, like a talent based of all the models already turned into AI.
Oh,
So I don't know if they partner up with another, with like an engineering
So,
company.
for example, there'll be an AI version of Mary Grace.
Yes.
Okay, and they will sell your image.
I think that's how it's
Different
going to, even in
companies.
acting, I think, honestly speaking, how it's going to go.
Okay.
Unless it's like live,
Mm-hmm.
I think all commercials, all movies, everything is going to be image. So the moment you sell your image, even if it's for like 6 months, they can do whatever they
That's
want.
so dangerous.
How it's dangerous,
They
but how?
can do whatever
I
they
believe
want
that
with your
is-
image.
Well, yeah,
right?
they can. Yes.
Obviously, you can
be-
put clauses and everything else,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
whatever. But I feel like in the long term, that is how it's gonna go.
How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about? How do you feel about sitting at home, eating cereal whilst being paid? Being paid
I mean,
for
you
it?
can be doing something else.
Well, let's look at the positive
You are
side.
working.
Nobody will care about the height anymore.
Fair enough.
You know?
They can make you tall if they want.
Literally, you can be as
Height,
tall as
weight,
a building.
age,
That's
not
fine.
going to be relevant anymore.
Nobody's gonna be relevant.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
but that's
true.
sad. Like you will, I don't know. Like we will lose that. I don't know how to say that essence that people have when they are like in person. Sometimes like spontaneous
True.
things happen.
True.
I think maybe the only thing that will stay alive is probably Runway because it's so
be.
wanted by
Yeah.
It has to be.
by people.
Yeah.
But for the rest, so for example, there is the new, I don't know if you know, the new VR set that is coming out from
Yes,
Apple.
yeah.
It's honestly just coming out in New York, which is so annoying because I was hoping
You want to get one?
100%. That will revolutionize everything. That's how I'm going to create content. It's going to be completely different. Modeling wise, it's going to be completely different. Everything is going to change it with that. And they're just, and I don't know if you saw the promo video of it, but it's insane.
Yeah, that's all right.
And I tried VR here in London. There is a company that's like £15 per hour. It was crazy. And I went like, 2 years ago. So imagine where they are now. And I already know it's going to be insane. So I believe the quicker you get there, the better you know how to move next.
So embrace the change rather than
100%.
hiding away from it.
100%.
Use it right for your own
Use it
benefit.
for your own benefit. I mean, if someone's got your image and you're sitting at home,
I think that's
you're
going
painting,
to turn.
you're painting, you're making music or whatever, and you're getting
scary.
paid.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
Because everything's
scary?
going to be also CGI.
You can make food. You can be a chef if you want to. You can change career and have your
Literally.
image just sold.
I don't know if you ever been like on a proper movie set, but I was on the Heart of Stone movie as an extra.
stars Israeli actress, right? Gal Gadot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I saw everything. And I went there because I really wanted to see how it worked from the actual behind the scenes. And it was actually insane. And I noticed the first thing that they made me do, obviously we all did COVID tests because it was at the time COVID tests, etc., etc. And then there was this queue in this room where it's basically all cameras, like literally like a cylinder full of like, I don't know, 1,000 cameras. They take every single angle of you. And they all go like all at the same time, all this flash for like 15 seconds. In fact, they said if you suffer of any seizures, just don't do this. But I thought about it and I was like, that is so cool. I didn't know about this because obviously they can place you anywhere in the movie whenever they need to. Because they have your image and they know every angle of you. And I was like, if that is happening now, imagine with AI how it's going to be like. So that's literally what you're going to be doing. You're going to be there. They're going to take every single picture of like a part of your body, every angle.
Create
And
AI.
you're going to be in the movie. You're going to be in the commercial. You're going to be, and they're going to do whatever they want with you. Like if they want you to fly, you're going to fly. So
Ice
there's
skating,
no
everything.
more competition, honestly.
Swim in the butterfly. Oh no. Oh no.
It's true though, no?
It's.
Yeah,
I mean, I can understand why people are scared, especially if you're a model,
Yeah.
because you're thinking to yourself, "I'm done." And especially if you just started as well, it's like I've just started and I'm finished. My
Literally.
career is finished. You're embracing it, which is great.
I think work on your image. I think that's the most, like, honestly, work on your image, guys, because that's what we're going to turn to. 10 could be later in 10 years, you'll be like, that bitch said that, in this podcast today. Yeah, I
That
believe, like,
happened.
image.
Okay. So
I
you're
think
saying,
so.
you're telling all girls and guys and non-binary, everyone, all humans, embrace,
Work on your image.
work on your image, embrace
Yes.
the change.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
100%. And it's not about followers, it's none of the kind, because I think that's something that's going to die out at some point.
Oh, for sure.
I think, like, the only creators that will remain is, like, long form, and that's it, like, in a couple of years. So don't care about followers, about your image.
When you say long form, do you mean long form
Long form
content?
content.
Okay. As opposed to TikTok.
Because everybody can be a content creator right now. But there is a reason why. There is a reason why everybody can be a creator.
What's the
The
reason?
platforms want that. Because they want to pull people in, and it's understandable. Like TikTok, for example, is playing with the algorithm because they want brands to advertise on the app. And they now even want creators to advertise themselves. So they're going to pull your views out. And every creator I talk to, doesn't matter how many followers they have, even 1/3 of the followers see their content.
I know.
It's actually crazy.
Especially on Instagram.
It's crazy.
Even worse on Instagram.
So that's why I'm like, don't care about don't think about followers, don't think about views, think about the kind of content that you put out.
Think about image.
Think about your image. I think that is gonna go in the long way.
That's what you can sell one day
Yeah.
if the time arrives.
What would you do if you're not allowed to model anymore? What would you do instead?
I'm really into yoga right now.
Okay.
That's cool.
So, yeah. So probably, well, I want to study it a bit more. And if I wouldn't be like doing modeling, I'll probably
Yoga teacher.
Yeah, probably.
What would you do?
Nice. Ooh.
You can be a movie producer
I could be a movie producer.
because you still need to write out the movie and what it's gonna be about, no matter.
Yeah,
whether it's AI
that's
or
true.
not.
That's true. Or I could just
Fantasy cannot be
retire
die. Oh yeah, as
and
well.
just go around the world.
Oh yeah, that would
Yeah.
be cool. I'm gonna paint. You're gonna see me paint.
You're gonna paint.
I'm gonna paint.
What are you gonna paint?
Anything. I used to draw when I was a kid. I was really, really good. But it's just been a passion. I never thought pursuing as a career. So I set myself, whenever I'm going to turn 30, I'm going to go for 1 year in some kind of mountain away, like further away from everything. And I'm going to just paint. I don't know what I'm going to do with that
For 1
collection.
year?
Yes. Or 6 months, a year. Yeah.
Okay. When you're
One of
30.
them.
So 8 years. Or 7 years now,
Yeah,
really.
something
'cause-
like that.
oh my
No, yeah,
God.
I'm still 22. It's one thing, still 22.
Oh, we are in December.
Yeah, I know, but March is really long. March is long.
It's only,
March is long.
okay, so 8 years' time, you're going to go to a mountain, paint for 1 year.
Yeah, and if there is VR, I'm gonna adapt it. Like I'm gonna digitally paint with my hands. I think it'll be
Nice. I like that. I like these plans. You guys have mapped up your futures before the future has happened.
I have no
I-
idea
I know.
what is going to happen.
I know what's going to happen. She
I
just
know.
told us.
I believe so.
just
Like
told us.
whoever I talk to, and I see that. I see like in people behaviors and everything else. So, I mean, we'll see. Okay, so for this part, because we're going towards the end, I decided to create a debate on there are certain things that people are not obsessed about, but almost. So there are certain sayings, etc., about the modeling industry, plans, what they think, and I want to have both of your opinion. And obviously, I'm going to say mine too. So first one is representation and diversity. Fashion industry should prioritize diversity in terms of body types, ethnicities, and gender identities.
So I meant to say if we agree or not.
Yeah, and why?
Okay. I'll let you go first. my answer's a bit obvious.
I mean, agree. Because I feel, like when you go to buy like a product or you go and watching TV and you're watching the ads, you don't want to see the same thing. Because then you're going to feel, well, everything is the same. Nothing is standout. Nothing is special. Then it's why I want to see real people. I want to see like my mom in the
But are you saying that as a buyer or as a model?
as a model?
Are you?
So what do you mean?
Because that's the difference. Are you saying that because modeling is your job, or
Okay.
would you actually, like, as a buyer, you go in a shop and if you see someone that is wearing exactly what you are, like how you are, body type, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Okay, like for example, I have a friend that I always say to her, like, you should model. If I see her, like, like selling something, I will think, oh, I kind of like it. Because it's like a real person. It has something special. Like we were talking about, like when she smile, when she do like a funny face, it's like different, right?
Yeah.
So I think I will feel more attracted to that.
What about you?
It's a tricky one. Because if you start leveling in the playing field and nothing
Everybody's
to
gonna-
aspire to, then are people... Because I think brands want to put people on screen or on billboards that you want to be.
Yeah,
Do you know
that's
what I
the
mean?
idea.
So if everyone is a real person modeling, is your brand as special as... Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, they're gonna lose the
Gucci.
glamorous.
Yeah, Gucci, for example, if they put my grandma on Gucci, then it's probably not going to sell as well as putting Naomi Campbell.
I mean, Gucci, depends. Maybe not. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it.
But I personally think it's fair and it's right to do that. But are we just being really idealistic and trying to change too much? That's
I believe, personally, obviously I talk as both sides. I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to speak as a business perspective and as a model.
Sure.
I believe that they should not lose the glamorous part, because that's what makes modeling. Like the 90s models, because wow, they had this like long legs and this attitude of like looking back and forth during the runway. That's what makes it wow modeling. But what I will say is that they should be more open.
Sure.
So I personally will not get anyone, but that's every job. Like, you will not have someone that doesn't have experience or doesn't know how to pose, etc., etc. Like, for example, I don't know anything about medicine. I'm not gonna go and cut open someone because I want to be a doctor tomorrow. It just does not work like that, you know. And maybe I don't have steady hands, and that's okay. Like, it's just not meant for me to be a surgeon, you know. So I feel like there should be more diversity in the right terms. So, for example, something that I would like to see is more openness about height. There was this period, I think it was, 2021, there were just curvy models everywhere. It was just curvy models time. I think the one before, it was Black People Lives. Everybody wanted black models. Like, I saw so many friends of my modeling.
We had so many.
I think almost one casting.
We had so many phone calls. Have you got any dark skinned models? Have you got any?
Insane.
They wanted to do a documentary about us. So yeah, it was.
So it's always
trends.
go with trends.
It's
That's
trends.
what bothers me. They should be open to everything every day.
Every day. It shouldn't be trends. Yeah.
I agree.
That's true.
Second debate. Impact on body image. There is an ongoing debate about whether fashion modeling contributes to unhealthy body standards and whether there should be more regulations to promote a healthier body image. What's your thoughts on that?
You go first.
I like that.
Okay, so there was a law by the British Fashion Council that was brought into place, I think, 2010.
Okay.
Because prior to that, do you remember size 0 models? Do you remember this? So that's been outlawed. Yeah, it's been banned. So you're not allowed to do. So they have put that into place. I think there should be other things in place, but maybe not in regards to this. I think there should be other things in place. There should be a minimum wage for models, for example.
I fully agree with this.
But yeah, I think I kind of agree and disagree.
Explain. Elaborate.
I think if you start putting boundaries in place and saying this is the minimum that someone has to do in regards to certain things.
Yeah.
If you say, for example, you have to take on models who are 4'1".
Yeah.
Your brand must have a model. For example, they've changed the Oscars and said that your film needs to have a certain amount of women diversity, blah, 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 or else you're not eligible to win an Oscar. I think that's really very, very silly, personally. So if they do something like that with this, then I don't really agree with that. But I think there are things that could be put into place that are just legally and ethically proficient that could make the industry better.
What do you think?
Fair enough. Okay, so I feel like sometimes, for example, like any model, like if you are unhealthy because you're having any like eating disorder or whatever, I think the agencies as well can support those models. And I know that some agencies do that. But if I were an agent and I'm seeing that some of my models are having like these kind of issues, like I will try to support them. And if you don't do that, it's because you don't care enough.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel it's also the agency responsibility in some kind of, you know.
Nice.
So, yeah. I think that...
Please don't fire me. You're excluded by any of this. You know, whatever you said here, he cannot fire you for anything of this.
What?
No, you can't. Okay.
That would be nice. Like,
Coming back to that, I totally agree with that. I think agencies should... there's been so many times when I've had conversations with the models, not just about eating, but you know, like mental things, like having personal
mental
problems.
health.
Yeah, because you can always tell if you're talking to models on a daily basis and there's something a little bit off. Always try and ask them what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about agency, yes, an agent should make it their part to make sure that person has a mental health of strength and guide them through any problems they're having. But I think if you're saying about the industry in general, there should be things in place to stop people doing that. But I think that's more of a society thing. Then I don't think the industry can do much about that. If society is saying that you need to be slim and beautiful, and then what can agencies and industries do about that?
I'm 50-50 on the topic.
Go on.
Because I personally believe that if like all the agents were agreeing on that, like I blame agents a lot for this, for the simple fact that if they were to say to all the brands, no, I'm not going to send you any model until you adopt this policy. Brands will not have anybody to turn to. Like if it was a collective thing, and every agent would be like, I'm not going to send you any model. They're going to go, I'm not going to send you any model. Like, what is Gucci going to do? Go around streets and pick up please model from me? Of course not.
Probably.
So I feel like that will fully change the perspective. However, I will also say though, like if you know that you might suffer of this because you tend to compare yourself to other models. Like I never, ever in my whole life said no to a burger because I had a job the day after. Like I might drink more water, I might take care more of my skin, I want the skin to be hydrated, yes, but I never said no to food because of a job. And even on the job itself, there's never happened once that the brand was like, let's not have lunch. I mean, I would be like, where's the pizza? You know? So, but anyway, yeah, because I feel like it's important, even for the environment itself. Like, everybody should be happy. I think food brings happiness if in the right terms, you know?
Yeah.
And I believe as a model of someone that wants to start out, if you tend to compare yourself to a lot of people, or if you have issues with your body image, even before getting into modeling, just don't get into it. And also, please, 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 make yourself heard. Like, I feel like a lot of models, for example, in Mexico, I met a lot of models that were afraid to say what they thought to their agency. Like, I'm not going to be booked anymore. But I was like, this is not healthy. There was a situation in a modeling apartment that was crazy. I thankfully got a studio, but my friend wasn't there, so I lived it through her, basically. And I had a big argument with this girl, too, because they were making fun of a girl that was the only one who spoke up on TikTok. And so she got fired from the agency. But I mean, she said things that I would have not said. She could have handled things in a different way. But still, the models did not have her back. That's what was like crazy. I was like, you living in the, because it was like 5 bunk beds, 1 bathroom. It was like crazy studio apartment for like 7 models. I was like, I don't know what is going on. And she was the only one to speak up. Okay. And I'm like, you know, guys, let yourself be heard. Like, if that's not condition to live, period.
Yeah.
And even for other things, like if the photographer is mean to you or anything of the kind, call your agents and let them know.
At the end of the day, like, you are a team, right? Like, you and your agency, you're a team. So,
exactly.
Communication.
Yeah. I think it's a human thing, though, you know? If someone's lying down on the street in central London, people just walk over them.
It's crazy.
Like one person will go over and say, are you okay? But
yeah.
most
And she's
people
probably
just
not
walk
from
over.
London.
Exactly. Exactly. She's probably a tourist. But
100%.
everyone's just walking over them like, oh, get off the street. You're in my way. I'm trying to go to work. Do you know what I mean? It's a human thing that needs to change as well.
Something, for example, that happened to me was March this year. We didn't sign yet. I was I'm signed with another agency, and they found me this job for like 2 days. It was a skincare brand.
Nice.
Very well paid. Nothing wrong with that. So the first day I go there, we do half day, all good. It was me and another model, and I go home. I go home, and I eat this fucking pasta. I get food poisoning, but like food poisoning to the point that I end up in the hospital.
Oh.
It was like literally 2 a.m. They almost gave me morphine. That's how bad it was, because they found me an infection. This food poisoning apparently caused an infection. However, I'm really professional, and the next day I was gonna be the only model on set. So I said, you know what? I can do this. I got it. So I still showed up at work. No. At 6:30 a.m., I call my agent and I'm like, look, just letting you know, I've been in the hospital. I literally just came out 4 hours ago. I barely slept, but, it's like 40 people in there. They're all waiting for me. I don't want to leave them like that. So I'm still going to go, but just let them know that, like, to take things a bit slow because I'm still in pain. I'm still like on antibiotics. And she was like, oh yeah, 100%. So they brought me this Gatorade, everything good. Towards 11:30 a.m., so I showed up there at 8. I was supposed to stay there until like 4. Around 11:30 a.m., 12, I started to get pain again, but like really badly. And I'm the type of person that when I am sick, I'm really quiet. I'm quiet, like I do what I do.
Trying to hold it.
But I was trying to hold it together. And in front of the camera, I still had to smile, pretend that everything was good and whatever. But I'm a good actress, so all good. Like I did everything perfectly. But I was really quiet. So I remember the photographer that was also the director came to me and was like, we are paying you to be here. You should like put a smile on and just stop being like this. Oh, no. I was like, baby girl, you got the wrong bitch to say that. I was like, look, first of all, you should thank me that I'm here. Because if I was another bitch, I would have been in my home sleeping right now after I've been to the hospital. Fuck the money. Fuck it, I don't care. It's my health we're talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, you should be thankful that I'm here. I'm still doing the job and I'm still doing it good despite all the amount of pain. I was like, you were in the hospital at 2 a.m. getting morphine up from your arm. I was. I was like, what are you on about?
They picked the wrong person.
They picked the wrong person.
The wrong day as
Wrong
well.
day.
And
Wrong person.
yeah, for real, I was like
Yeah.
crazy tired, crazy sick. So I then called my agent and I was like, tell them that 1 a.m. I'm out.
Oh.
So
wow.
tell them to wrap up quickly. She called them and they were like, Mary Grace is in pain, make sure to do everything quickly. And then there were some parts, like hand modeling, that were remaining for the product. And they picked, I don't know, someone else that was on set to do it. Left.
Revenge is sweet.
Respect, no, respect, because I was there for everybody, because everybody showed up at work, like, 40 people. I understand that. But understand me too, I was in the hospital, And I remember the makeup artist told me, oh, honey, just think about the money when she was doing my makeup. And I was like, don't look like I care about the money. Like, I really don't. Can you see my eye bags? There is a reason you're covering them,
Think about the money.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
honestly, speak up. Like, make yourself heard. And honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. The casting director that was part of the production company is literally writing me a recommendation letter for a visa. So
you impressed them.
I did good.
Impressed them.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, make obviously in the right terms and everything else. Don't be afraid to speak up. Okay, third debate. Social media influence. Don't feel free to be honest about this. Okay. The rise of social media has significantly changed the landscape of modeling. Some argue that it democratizes the industry, while others believe it contributes to unrealistic beauty standards and increased competition.
So what? You're saying is the question?
Be honest.
Is the question? Is it bad? Are
the question
social
is-
media models bad?
Yeah, like, is it true that, like, what's your opinion on social media models, basically, that
Like
now have been,
influencers.
Influencers that have took over the modeling industry, which is true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I lost jobs because of it, and I have followers, so it's funny,
That's happening a lot in Spain.
Does it?
Yeah, like we have like influencers in Spain, and you see them in these commercials for like big brands,
Yeah.
and you're like, but they're not models.
They're not models.
They're influencers. But like at the end of the day, they are taking the business. Like
It's true.
it's competition everywhere, and
More
if they have
exposure for the business.
yeah, if they have the opportunity, of course they're gonna take it.
Yeah.
What can I do? I'm gonna feel like frustrated about it? No.
What's
Let it
your
be.
I it's a tricky one, because if you work that hard to get that many followers and you're getting benefits from it, great.
But what
But-
if you blow up for some stupid dumb shit? And then there is a model that actually has maybe 10 years of experience and loses their job because
that's
of
the
that.
problem. So I don't know. Obviously, we live in a democracy, and
Yeah.
we live in a free society.
Sadly.
where if you put in the hard work, you should get the rewards, right?
Technically.
But yeah, we are living in this 15 minutes of fame society where you can get 100,000 followers for doing something stupid on social media, become a model,
Yeah.
and make loads of money. I don't think that's fair, but that's the reality of the situation.
I agree.
And I think it will change. Like you said, I think it's going to change in the future.
And I can't wait.
I personally,
And I'm going together. I can't wait. I'm here for it. I'm just sitting there waiting for
when
the
it
day.
happens, it's gonna be Mary Grace like here.
yeah. So personally, I think I always prefer someone who's skilled and has put the hard work in and reaps the benefit, rather than someone who just gets the fame from nothing. Like, I'm not a big fan of Kim Kardashian, for example. I don't like the way that she's become famous
Sure.
and
Really,
how
sure.
she became famous.
Sure. She's a saint mother. She has like a good mother. That's all I'm going to say. It's true though.
She's a great mother, great agent mother. And if someone became famous for that reason, I wouldn't respect them as much as someone who went
Actually
to walk-ins
worked
and
Yeah.
put the hard work in. Even if that person's making $1 million and this person's making
100%.
£10, I'd respect the person with £10 more than the person with $1 million.
I fully agree. Personally, I believe. So I have a few friends now that I'm the OG of modeling. On
Oh,
TikTok.
yeah.
I am. Like,
Damn
I
right you
started
are.
modeling
You sure did.
on IG. Especially
And YouTube.
Gen Z. Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
You're right. But short form, not long form.
I get
I have
it, I
to
get
say
it.
that.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. And for me, it's like, if it's older models, so aside from the fact that like content creation is really easy to, copy and paste, And I get that. I started so many trends. Like last year, I started this like how to post trend. Now you see how to post everywhere. And I'm like, I do it because I've experienced it and not because I want to be free on Instagram. And it's crazy to me, but everybody's doing it now. And I feel like if it's like a model, for example, I have a few friends that are models and they actually blew up on social media. You know, yes, go for it. Get paid for that post as well on the modeling job. But when you lose a job just on influencer, it bothers me. It's like it really bothers me because I'm like, you're literally doing that just for followers. And then at that point, just do a social media campaign. Like, don't do the full commercial modeling campaign.
I don't think the brands care though, do they?
They don't.
That's the
They
problem.
just care about like
The money.
their business.
The business.
So-
Yeah, it's the same reason
it's
why they use
crazy.
models who are 5'10" and size 2. Is they care about the
don't.
business, they care about the
Yeah,
money,
the
They don't
image
care
that they
about
have.
the image that they have, and the followers they have. It's
The
all
only
about-
positive side about it, I must say, is that we get paid twice. So we get paid to model and to post. So that's good.
You sure do.
That's really cool.
Sure do. I'm jealous of you.
That's really cool. But aside from that, but it doesn't happen always, not all the time. But if it's like a big brand, for example, for H&M, I got paid for everything.
Twice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I worked literally 4 hours. I was so shocked. At 1 p.m. I was home. This is the life I want. This is life. This is amazing, man. But yeah, so obviously depends from job and everything else. But still, I believe like if it's in the right terms, sure. Like as you said, if you work for it, yes, please go for it. 100%. I'm the first one to be like, yeah, get him, get her, get them, whatever. Anyway, fourth one, which we quickly picked it up before. High fashion versus commercial. There is a debate about whether fashion modeling should focus more on high fashion, which is often artistic and avant-garde, or if there should be a greater emphasis on everyday wear to cater to a broader audience.
So wait, what do you mean like if you should focus more?
On high fashion, like editorials and Runway, or more on commercial, the modeling industry.
I mean,
Why?
because I prefer like commercial. I will say commercial. But I guess like it's the same. Like there are a lot of people, so I guess there are room for everyone, so they can do everything. I guess.
So what about you?
Well, I think if you look at the recent Victoria's Secret's runway show,
I saw.
you have your answer. You have your answer. And I think they're going back to the old format now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's different brands, different ways of thinking. You know,
agree.
Victoria's Secret's seems to work better with that high fashion kind of thing.
But because that's what it's known for. Like
That's what
the
it's known
big
for.
wings and like that's why you follow Victoria's Secret.
Exactly.
That's why you sell the
It's what we were talking about before. We touched on it before.
Yeah,
It's an
that's what I thought.
aspirational model. But if you're advertising a car brand, you wouldn't want a 5'10" model
Yeah.
in the
doesn't
car.
make any sense.
Like
Yeah.
that's pretty silly, right? You want Paula, and you want her driving the car smiling.
Yeah.
No, oh, I want to be her. Do you know what I mean? So it depends.
I think personally, it should just be emphasized commercial more. That's it. I will still do both the same amount. Just Runway, high hand gets emphasized more compared to commercial. I feel like commercial is more like, yeah, whatever.
Is
And
there-
sometimes they don't even understand that like these are models or actors. That's the thing. Like, and it's really fun as a funny dynamic. But if commercial was emphasized as much, it would be a completely different story.
Yeah, I think it's society again, though. I think
Yeah.
like again, if you ask someone on the street, what's a model? They're going to be like
Runway.
runway, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't realize that
It's so true.
commercial is also a thing that people can do. And I think there's still a lot of girls and guys who don't realize that height's actually not as important as it used to
Yeah.
be. So I think it's a problem in society.
And that's why we make videos about it until this
Exactly.
is gonna change. You know?
That's what happened in
Exactly.
social media. Like you always see the high fashion things. You don't see the commercial.
stuff. That's true.
Yeah, it's
You
true, exactly.
like Google
Very
it or you put on YouTube like commercial shoot.
But because
True.
if let's take for example Victoria's Secret, you won't see them the behind the scenes of a commercial. You just see the runway
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
I
So
would like to
runway
see the
is
commercial.
amazing. Which personally I believe sometimes it can be harder like a full commercial editorial instead of the runway, honestly speaking. Like yeah, it's a long process runway, but it's like 15 seconds. That's it. Literally, it is. Commercial is a whole day
It's a whole
campaign.
day.
It's a whole day. And
Sometimes
sometimes you
it's
get booked
3
for like
days.
3 days. Exactly. Depends on like the campaign and what they require. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's probably more interesting. I will watch more.
Yeah, what
the
they do.
what do you do in the behind the scenes?
I think it's hard work to get that job as well. Like for a catwalk
Way
show,
harder.
you do one catwalk, you get the job. The
Literally.
commercial, like
You need like 5 self-tapes.
yeah,
You're
myself.
lucky.
You sent me a self tape the other day. It was like
Yeah.
20 minutes long. I was like, she's done this, she's done this, she's done that, she's done this. And you did one the other day. I was like,
And I need to check every time. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm uploading everything to the right order.
what's
as
going
well.
on? And yeah, the hard work you put in to get a commercial job is way more than high fashion job.
I fully agree. I fully agree. But it's also why it gets paid more to an
True.
extent.
That's true.
So we gotta
That's true.
also admit that.
It's the balance.
It's a balance. Okay, last one, which again we touched before. Agency control versus model autonomy. There is an ongoing debate about the level of control modeling agencies should have over a model's career choices versus allowing models more autonomy in the selecting projects and managing their personal brand.
Ooh.
Okay. So, for example, like I remember when I first started with BAME, I told them like I don't do bikini or lingerie. So, and they were okay with that. And sometimes, like I've heard from friends, like they say that to the agency and they don't like that. Like they don't like that boundary.
Yeah.
You know, they are like, well, but then how we gonna, you know, like do this kind of shoot, or how we gonna get you work with this? And it's like, well, but if that's my choice.
Yeah,
Like
of
that's
course.
my boundary. That's like I don't want to do that because I just don't feel that's my journey. Like, I don't want to go in that direction. So the same like communication. And if the agency say like, oh, then we don't want you, then it's not the agency for you.
I agree. What's your opinion, Marcus?
I think an agency, like you said before, should take care of their models.
Yeah.
So we have modest models, for example. They should not be doing bikini stuff. You know, I'm going to force a modest model to do bikini stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if a model has boundaries, like you said, that should be respected. Sometimes that can be quite difficult, though, because if a brand, say, for example, we're a swimwear agency and you want to join a swimwear agency, but why can't I not do swimwear?
Yeah.
That doesn't work. So I think a model's autonomy is always first. And I think that comes down to the model's strength. Like you said to everyone before, like be strong. Be strong. If the agency is not really working for you, then
Out.
Yeah, out. But I think all agencies should try and atone to what a model wants. But unfortunately, sometimes it's a bit like supply and demand. Like if Gucci wants 5'10" models, the agency are gonna hire 5'10" models.
100%.
If they want models to do bikini wear, then do you know what I mean? So it's a fluid situation for me. But I think what you said is perfect. I think if you're strong with your demands and say I'm not going to do something, the agency should respect that.
Yeah.
All agencies will respect that though.
I fully agree.
Yeah.
I personally am of the idea that like I really care about my personal brand a lot. I mean, for many reasons. Obviously, I do many things, etc. But something that I love is like be direct with me. As my agent, just tell me, you know, for example, I got new haircut. Just the mirror says sucks. You're not gonna get you any jobs. You can have it, but don't expect to book any job. Like, cool, okay, then that's my choice. So be straightforward. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Obviously, then it's up to me whether I want to follow or not. But like, don't demand.
That's a good example. So you're saying that if a model changes their hairstyle
Yeah.
and tells the agency I've changed my hairstyle,
Yeah.
if they say you're not going to get any jobs, then that's fine. That's your choice though.
Yeah.
Okay. Rather than the agency going, do
You're
not
out.
change it. Yeah.
You're out.
You're gone.
You're gone.
You're gonna stay like that for 10 years.
So for 10 years, we like it. Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
I believe, like in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky sometimes. That's a tricky one.
Of course, yeah, of
Tricky
course. But because you need new Polaroids and you need to be put out. Yeah, I
Your
get
whole
it.
portfolio
100%.
needs to change as well.
We're not talking about anything drastic, obviously, because someone goes blue hair. I get it. I understand it. I understand the agent perspective. But from a model perspective, I feel like it's good to play around with your image, still to an extent, but it's also good to hear advice from your agent because you know better. You've been in the industry more than me. You talk to clients, I don't.
Yeah.
So whatever feedback they might have, I want you to report it to me. Like maybe I sucked. Like there is something in particular. Maybe it's the eyebrows, for example. I don't know. Be like, you know, you have beautiful eyes, but these eyebrows, like make them thinner, for example.
But there's been times when I've been wrong. Like I've said to one of
Oh,
our
yeah, of
models,
course.
you know, don't change your hair. She changed it to blonde. She got more work. So,
Fair.
you know.
Oh yeah, you never know, of course.
Yeah, you never know. So, you know, it's okay for me to say, oh, don't change your hair. You look wonderful. But then you may change it and get loads of jobs. And then I'm wrong. So I'm the idiot. So, you know, I don't know. I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of knowledge, like you said, based on my experience.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like all humans, we make
Yeah, of
mistakes.
course.
So, yeah.
Okay, any advices that you have for whoever is watching that wants to start modeling or is like 5'5" like us? Anything, any advice that you will give?
I will say ask for help, like if you need it. Like don't think that you can do everything by your own because you can't. You can.
That's good advice.
Like either family, friends, or anywhere, like anyone.
Have a support system.
Yeah, like don't be afraid
That's
to
a good
ask.
one.
I
That's
like
a very
that.
good one. Don't give up. Absolutely do not give up. If you want to achieve something, go for it. Again, I've been wrong about stuff before. You went to another agency, they rejected you. You joined us, you've got work, you've done test shoots. So not everyone has the right answer to everything. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you just meet certain people and the energy is just perfect.
I agree.
And same with agencies as well. No, you may join the wrong agency, not get any work. Doesn't mean you're a bad model.
Yeah.
It just means you go to another agency or go freelance. But do not give up.
I fully agree. For me, personal advice that I give is like create your own opportunities. No matter where you are, what stage you are, create your own opportunities. For example, I really want to work for Hugo Boss and Ralph Lauren and Gucci. So I am doing a shoot on the 20th that has the mood board. Watch
Nice.
me get the shoot next year.
Wow.
She will.
I know she will.
I will.
She will. I know she
Don't
will.
worry about it. I got it.
She will definitely get it.
So yeah, create your own opportunities. Don't be afraid. Ask for help and never ever give up. I think that's a really good note to end it
Love
with.
that. Yeah. Beautiful.
Bye guys. Thank you for tuning
Bye.
in. Follow us and follow also Marcus and Paula. I'm gonna give you here the tag. Love you. Bye.
Bye.